And go we will. Now I have to remember to start up the the Instagram, which is so easy to forget. We have the all-seeing eye, which is good. All right, so now all I have to do is press the go and wait to see if things are moving. Looks like we're grooving. Okay, we're back. All right, good morning to everybody. How are you this morning? Hopefully you're doing well and you're happy and content. It is Tuesday. Tuesday can be a treasure, can also be a nightmare. We've got some music on in the background. We are using the program of Restream today. We're also using X Pro, which many of you might know as TweetDeck back in the day. And we're just on portrait, not landscape. And the reason we're on portrait this morning is that we're on Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, you better be on portrait because it is a mess on landscape. Nothing fits, nothing works. It's not good. So we have volume, we have music, and we have you. So I promised I'd do some quotes today. I was in the right mood this morning to start a show. And that's great because what we do is we take this and we cut it up and we make it into snippets, other clips on several formats. Sometimes we cut it up and put it on Instagram, Facebook, but mostly on TikTok. And the traffic on TikTok has been really steady. Here's a great book for those who love books. This is, let's see if you can see get a little closer there. The Comfort Book. Can't go wrong with the Comfort Book. I'm just looking through it right here. It's one of those books you can just open it up and it has short quotes. The future is open. You don't need to know the future to be hopeful. You just need to embrace the concept of possibility, to accept the unknowability of the future is the key, and that there is a version of the future which are brighter and fairer than this one. The future is open. Well, I hope so. I don't think I've ever seen that word before. Unknowability. A new word for the day. Multiple words glued together. I like that. I love when there's some form of learning, unexpected learning. Shout out to people whose kindness isn't a strategy, but a way of life. Oh, I like that. That is beautiful. May you be surrounded by light and beautiful vibes. Well, what is beautiful vibes to you guys? I would love to know. Put it in the comments what you think beautiful vibes are, if you can. Unfortunately, unless I set up the Facebook, it won't show anybody that isn't deemed as a friend, which is, I think, of a list of 30 people. I will see it later, though, when I look at my Facebook. Let's look at Instagram for a second here. Nobody on Instagram yet. Now, Instagram, I find, takes about an hour to get grooving. And it says right in it, after an hour, you may lose broadcast. Now, for some creators, I bet within, 5 minutes, it's insane. I'm not one of those creators. But I make these little morning shows to uplift people. And I hope that, in this somewhat toxic world, you find moments of peace, joy, tranquility, bliss. CTV Toronto breaking. One person has died after, what is this? Died after collision in Vaughan. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Drive safely, folks. It's not worth it. You know, better to be late than not be on the planet, right? Note to self, don't seek to be relevant, liked, or popular. Seek to be authentic, seek to be compassionate, seek to be a loving human being. I like that one. Someone you know is preparing for their first Christmas without their husband, wife, mother, father, brother, sister, daughter, or son. Others are preparing for their last, regardless of the specifics. Remember that the season of joy is oftentimes a season of sorrow. Hello! Aw, hi Vito. Good to see you. There's Vito. I haven't seen you, Vito, for a while. And we also have right there. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Yeah, so be kind, be generous, give love, give help. If nothing else, just don't give people a hard time. I think we give ourselves a hard time sometimes, right? And that's sad. I would love to go to Italy, by the way. Would love it. That's one of those places that's on the bucket list. Italy is beautiful. It really is. I have friends that are, I would say, somewhat conservative, and they all say, oh, you gotta try Italy. Italy is the bomb. It's the best. You can't go wrong. Let's have a look here. Yeah, you see both. Okay. So I'm looking at this here. Don't need that anymore. It's going to be interesting to see how the Jacksonville Jaguars do this year. Oh, this is the vote getters. This is a while ago. This one here. This was from December 9th. All these guys were superstars, though, this year. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson, Sam Laporta, and Dalton Kincaid. And I thought Dalton Kincaid had a phenomenal year. He says, I think so. Okay. What do you think so to? I'm curious. That's the other thing. When the comments come up on Restream, it might be about something I said a minute ago. So we have to kind of have clarity on what's being said. So if I put my... Oh yeah, I can kind of see like that. Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. Huh. I just realized something. I love when I can figure out different features on this Restream. Now, Restream, if you try it, it's free. You can do, I think, 2 different formulas. And what I mean by that is 2 applications. So you would have to figure out which 2 you'd want to do. So maybe it'd be Facebook or Twitter. I think that's what I did at the beginning. Sometimes I used, what was it at the beginning? I think I tried Twitch. And I also tried YouTube. And YouTube, thank you everyone, it has been growing steadily. Not fast, not frantically fast, but fast enough. So I've been very happy with it. All right. Now, does anybody else know any of these other people besides Jason Kelce? Anybody know? God, he's a great guy. I'm pretty sure that he's done. That he's retired. They've kind of whispered that he isn't. All right. Let's go back up here. All right. I bet you've been motivated to stay on your diet if the weight you lost went to someone you hate. Oh, Michael, that's awful. I saved it. I bet you'd be motivated to stay on your diet if the weight you lost went to someone you hate. Oh my God. We shouldn't hate anybody, right? We should be loving and nurturing to one another. Good luck with that. I think we all have moments of where we're a little wacko and crazy. Life can make you that way. I think it can. I think it can drive you right around the bend. Aw, I like this one too here. Kindness makes you the most beautiful person in the world, no matter what you look like. I have no idea who this is. Does anybody know who this is? All right. And that's from Self Care Canvas. The other thing that we do, and it's important, let's do it quickly here. Recent post from Elon Musk. Well, that's important. John Pierce. Thank you, sir, for your support. And that was yesterday. I don't really know this person that well. Oh, yes, I do. Yes. I think this is a secondary account. Because I remember her having a much larger account. I think some people are very political and end up losing their account, which is not good. We have Maria Humphreys. There we go. I'm going to put her up there. You can see her as well. This one is really weird. DraftKings and MGM are both reporting that the opening point spread of the Super Bowl may be adjusted away from San Francisco 1.5 after those platforms each received over 890K separate tiny wagers on the 49ers money line since last night. I like the picture. Picture's cool. You know what that is? Ladybugs. How can you go wrong with ladybugs, right? I get a little freaked out by them sometimes. We sometimes get hundreds of them in the summer together at the side of the building. I've seen that many times. But there are so many people this year who are trying for the first time to do their own podcast. Keep trying, no matter how bad it goes. And the great thing is too, if you stumble, you can always cut it up, right? You can always splice and dice it later and save your first works. Because when you get polished and you get to the point where you want to be, you will really savor those first moments when you were terrified. And I think it takes a while to get comfortable in front of the camera. Because a lot of times people don't think about what they're doing. They're thinking about all the people that will be watching them in the future, which is not what you should be doing. How do people feel about Lamar Jackson? Do you feel like he choked? Many people do. I think he did okay. I just think Patrick Mahomes is on a different level. And he can turn it on and turn it off. And I said that at the beginning of the year. I was like, it seemed like Lamar Jackson, and it seemed like Patrick Mahomes, and even Josh Allen, all were on a governor. They weren't firing on all signals, you know. I don't want to be negative. I want to be appreciative of what they've done, but I also realize that it's grueling and can be awful for them. Like, it's 5 months and they're constantly in harm's way. And then they're also dealing with all the stuff that they have going on, especially Patrick Mahomes with, you know, all of his sponsors, right? All the ads, all the press, conditioning. Oh, I love this here. How to tackle those funky odors in your home. This is some of the things that are popping up here. Oh, I just saw a good one and it came and went. Something about the subway. I hope everything's okay on the subway. Donika. Sunday morning motivation worth following. Absolutely. These are all great people. Professor Jeremy. Great guy to follow. All right. And there's Diana Bishop. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you. How many pairs of shoes does Shannon Sharpe have? I think he has a few. He shows different ones every show. It's amazing. I like the music. I wonder if you can even hear it. Let's turn it up a bit. Oh yeah, that's full. That's full on there. And I noticed now it's mixed. This is all on Restream, so none of it is copyright infringement. You're good. I also want to say hello to Fran this morning. And Sid. Thank you, Sid. Someone's making bread for the first time. I love Kindness Matters. I love that. Okay, let's read this one here. Today will never come again. Be a blessing. Be a friend. Encourage someone. Take time to care. Let your words heal and not wound. And I so agree with that. Words can be weapons. The words we use, we must be careful, because we could harm the people that we love the most and cherish in this life. Make kindness the norm. I would agree. I don't know if the world will ever get there. I don't want to be, negative about it, but I think there's a certain percentage of us that are trying and failing and trying and failing. And I know there's times that I can go into dark places in my mind, and I have to catch myself and say, you know what? There's so much beauty that surrounds us every day. Why don't I focus on that? Why don't I focus on the people who bring my life a sense of peace and balance? That is what I should be focusing on. And don't worry so much about what a few people say or do. And just know that there's always going to be individuals that don't like you. There's always going to be those that have their own agenda. And what you need to do is just put the focus on you. Work on your skills. Don't worry about what someone is saying or doing or saying to someone else. That is a waste of energy. You will never stop that. That will continue on forever. And I say to my friends all the time, just imagine that 80% of the people that watch you, like your content. That's phenomenal. And 20% care less, or you irritate them, or you're annoying to them. And that's fine, because we're all linked. We're all one. But I think certain things people do or certain energies trigger me, and other things that people say and do heal me, uplift me. And what you have to do in this life is you have to figure out your tribe. And whatever your tribe is, do the best to be kind and patient and loving and nurturing to yourself first. Replenish the well if you can. Replenish the well every day. Imagine how drained these professional athletes are in the NFL right now, and the mental toughness that they have to have, and all the chatter within their mind and around them every day. That would be, for the strongest person, unbelievably difficult to get through. So focus on you, focus on what you can do, worry less about, or care less if you can, about the things in your life that you have no control over. And one of them is what people think and say and do behind your back. And just know you're always going to have the naysayers. The trolls, if you like that better. Smart thinker, big vision, small execution. I like that. Smart thinker wants to work on his own ideas. Foolish doer. Small vision, big execution. And I think what that means is there's so many of us out there that we put 1,000 hours into the dreaming and scheming and putting it together, but very little execution on getting it flowing. So this year, if you want to be a podcaster, and I don't mean someone that's on Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces is kind of like Clubhouse in the sense that you're doing a phone call or a podcast. Make sure that you're seen, because I think being seen will develop skills in you that you didn't have before. Now, the great thing is if you want to connect with individuals and you're more comfortable not being on camera, and there is a lot of pains being camera ready, I get it, especially if a full life, but go on, even if it's 10 minutes, once a week at the beginning until you get comfortable. The other thing I've noticed too is there's individuals that do not want to waste their time on Twitter Spaces. You have other individuals that absolutely love Twitter Spaces. You have individuals that like to be seen. They love the body language so they can read the other individual, especially if they have them in the room. Where I think you're more prone to be yourself if you're seen. I think if you're not seen, you're hiding in the shadows, and you can do things and say things and maybe get too comfortable and put yourself in situations that are not the best for you. Never forget, the internet is forever. So many artists, so many great artists have ended up ruining their careers by forgetting who they are, where they are, and why they're there. It's so easy to do that. All right, let's see what we got here. This is interesting. Check this out, folks. There's a lot of anger right now towards a little tongue twister there. A lot of anger right now towards Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift and the Swifties have, I think, elevated the NFL to a level that is unbelievable now. I saw a number that was over $300 million of free advertising and building of a brand has gone on since Taylor Swift has been seen with her relationship with Travis. But then you have individuals that are doing stuff like this that is, I would say, condescending, right? Not supportive, not kind. And it's okay that the brand is building, you know, and that the brand is thriving. But to do this and the other negative stuff, I think that's what happens, though, and we were just talking about it. When you reach a level of success, as she has, you are going to have those who love you, you're going to have those who envy you, and you're going to have those who critique everything you say and do. She is, hands down, one of the most successful, powerful women in history. Not of our generation, in history. She is breaking records every year. But for her to generate in that very small time what they perceive to be a value of over 300 million is insanely impressive. And how much would they have to spend to get even a percentage, a small percentage of that audience that don't really like football? Let's be real. They're there to see, you know, what's going on. They want to know, right? They have to know because they're obsessed with her. Never stop doing little things for others. Sometimes those little things occupy the biggest part of their hearts. You know what? I'm going to have a little bit of coffee. We have today the cup. You ready? Oh, be happy. Let's go over here. Went to the wrong camera. Be happy. Today we're using, just for those who want to know, we are using, here we go, the Nexico. This is an older camera I've had. I bet I've done, oh my God, 500 shows with this camera. I also have a cheaper camera. Let's see here. I have a cheaper camera here that I can show you. All right, extra camera, add. There we go. We'll add it right in here. There you go. This one, and you can kind of see my setup here today, what's going on. But this here is the Fifine microphone. You can purchase this. This is a USB microphone. Not expensive. You can get it, oh my God, because it's older now. I bet you could get it for 50 bucks. Somewhere around 50. I think I paid 100 when I got it. I've had this now 3-4 years, at least 3. I love it. I've had other Fifine microphones. They're great. I probably own 7 microphones, but this one I like because of ease of use. You can also hook it in very easily with a dongle into your phone. And that's the other thing. If you don't have a computer and you only have, your phone, you'd be amazed what you can get done. But be open to being on multiple platforms at the same time. We are right now currently on, let's have a look here. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. And the Instagram, I have a feeling, did not reach my audience today, but that's okay. And you're going to have that. I find with Instagram, if I go on at night, it has wonderful traffic. Chuck Brooks wants to replace the chip transistor. Okay. Well, that's cool. I have no idea why I have these notifications up here, but I'm thinking as long as they're not negative, I can read them. I love this quote. We're coming up to 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop soon here. You are so hard on yourself. Take a moment, sit back, marvel at your life, at the grief that softened you, at the heartache that wizened you, at the suffering that strengthened you. Despite everything, you still grow. Be proud of this. And be proud of yourself today, folks. God bless you all. If you can, tell me who you're most excited now that it's come down from 32 to 2. We have San Fran against KC at Kansas City. Here I come. For those who ever doubt Patrick Mahomes' ability to win on a whim, I think we're learning every year. And I remember last year, many people thought there was no way that Kansas City could beat, the Eagles. And there was a lot of hype on that train. Now, that was an incredible game. Probably one of the best games I've ever seen. I wonder if many of the owners have learned this year, you have to have multiple quarterbacks. If they're just too fragile. And please, for the love of God, do not overpay. I'm looking at Kirk Cousins is wanting $45 million this year. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins is probably more in the range of $30 million. So we'll see. We'll see what the teams are willing to pay. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Continue to shine light in the darkest places, knowing that your energy is helping to heal the collective. Let's be kind. Let's be patient. Let's be loving. And never stop moving in the direction of your greatest passions. The energy is alive with possibilities.